What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Thanks for tuning in to Casual Conversation with Will and Gary. We got a good one this time, folks. I'll tell you what. Me and Gary talk about eating healthy and nutrition in your life. We talk about accomplishing your goals one step at a time. We throw in a little bit of Christmas. We talk about our favorite Christmas movies, and to polish it off, we talk about 23andMe DNA ancestry testing. So, once again, thanks for tuning in and hope you guys enjoy the show.
Welcome to the greatest podcast face on the
Well, howdy. How's everybody doing?
Howdy, partners.
How's everybody doing? Episode number 8, Casual Conversation, baby.
Number ocho.
Number ocho. Number 8.
Casual conversation. I've had a few people reach out to me this week and kind of, I don't know, express their criticisms slash, I don't know. I just told them good job, I guess.
That's not a criticism. That's a praise.
No, they gave me some criticism and they told me good job. They like what we're doing. Like one of my classmates, Armani, shout out Armani.
Did they give us any tips?
Yeah, they did. They said that like we have a good flow, but to kind of like when we get off on stories, kind of stay to the topic. So hey, I'm gonna take your
I'm down with
advice,
that.
Armani.
I'm down with that.
Anyways, dude, what did you get into this week?
Not much this week. Dude, actually, I did do something cool this week. At work this week, I played a game called pickleball. You ever heard
Pickleball?
of pickleball? You ever heard of pickleball?
I've never heard of pickleballs.
Dude, no, that's not what I meant. Pickleball is like a sport. It's a hybrid cross between tennis, ping pong, and badminton, I would say. That's what I would call it. Because like you're on a court, it's probably you like tape it off on the ground. It looks just like a tennis court. It's got the two lanes in the back, and then you have a net and everything. And it's like 45 feet long probably and 20 feet wide maybe, something like that.
Okay.
And you use these wooden paddles. They're probably 2 times the size of a ping pong paddle, but a lot smaller than a tennis racket.
Okay.
And the balls are wiffle balls, like the wiffle ball we used to play with?
Yeah.
That's the ball you use. And the rules are basically just like tennis, except you can hit it out of the air. Well, yeah, that is just like tennis. So like you serve it, I serve it to the opposite side, and then you hit it back. And like there are these little lines that you can't cross that are like 3 feet back from the net. So you can't just run up to the net and start smacking it. You have to stay behind a certain area.
So that sounds like a neat game, but I am confused as to why they call it pickleballs.
No, it's not pickleballs, Gary. It's pickleball.
Oh, I thought you said pickleballs. Okay.
No, you idiot.
I did.
You
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I said pickleball.
Anyways, I don't understand why they call it pickleball.
I don't know. That's just what they call it.
That's kind of misleading.
I guess. I don't know.
It sounds like a glorified ping pong / tennis match. It's like a hybrid.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's what I just said. It's a hybrid between tennis, ping pong, and badminton. It reminds me of ping pong, though. That's why I like it so much.
I'm assuming since we have a pretty high skill level of ping pong and that you have an almost average level of tennis, that you were decent and you were beating everybody, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was decent. I mean, I wasn't beating everybody. Like, I wasn't winning every game. Like, I won a few games, but there were a couple games I got smoked.
Smoked? Not a
I'm
pickleball.
talking,
You're not a pickleball pro.
I'm talking smoked. But it was super fun. Actually, I enjoyed it more than a tennis game, but not as much as a ping pong game, if that tells you anything. And I love tennis, too.
I can tell you why you don't enjoy tennis games.
Why?
Because you lose every time.
No, I don't.
Who else do you play besides me?
I played my sister-in-law a couple times. That was before me and you started playing a lot though. So she's probably better than me now. I don't know how often she plays, but anyway,
Pickleball.
man.
Well,
So that kind of enthralled I went deep in a rabbit hole on it, like watching YouTube videos and techniques and all this kind of stuff. Because I was like, dude, I gotta be. It was really fun. You got to try it for sure.
yeah, that sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, not that you asked, but my week was pretty interesting as well. I had a lot of school. Like it's finals week next week.
Oh no.
So like we're doing like all of our final project. We're doing like all of our final projects and everything.
Yeah.
And so we had.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I actually had to take a competency exam. So we have this class in the nutrition department called senior seminar. And basically what this class is geared for, first of all, it's a class that just helps you prepare yourself for the dietetic internship, which is
What internship are you doing? Are you doing an internship?
Yes, I'm going to go into the dietetic internship / graduation graduate program at UCA.
Oh, that's cool.
But we had to take a competency exam in the senior seminar class, and yeah, like you can make whatever grade on it, and that's how it'll affect you in the class. But if you want the teacher to sign off and say that you're competent enough to go into the internship / graduate program, you have to make an 80 or higher.
Ooh,
And
requirements.
so, like the test, it was 75 questions, and it was just like the 4 or 5 different areas that we go over throughout like the whole nutrition course. Like you do a little bit of.
So it was cumulative.
Yeah, it was like you did a little bit of medical nutrition, you had a little bit of community nutrition on there, you had food service, you had a little bit of research, you had a little bit of like just the science behind it and the biology. But the good thing is I am competent. I passed
You
it.
passed.
Yes.
Hooray. Give a round of applause. No, for real though, nice work.
Yeah, dude,
I'm
I
proud.
was
You made me proud. I'm a proud son.
pretty excited. I was pretty excited, not gonna lie.
You should be.
And we also had, so I know I've talked a little bit on the podcast about my experimental foods class. We had our final project. So like basically what we've been doing, I've talked about the PUFA bread that we're making. It's a healthier bread basically.
Yeah.
So just to kind of give a brief overview of that, basically we took a pound cake recipe, and instead of using any shortening, we took all the shortening out and replaced it with ground flaxseed. And it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. You just replace the shortening in your recipe, and it's actually pretty good. We basically, I think like 40 to 45 people came in. We set up like in the lab, which is just a big kitchen. We had our tables, and there were like maybe 9 or 10 different groups with different foods that they had either. It wasn't necessarily to make it healthier, but it was to utilize a theory or a concept in food science and make something a little bit different, off the beaten path, I guess. And so we had people come around, and we had scorecards. They did a sensory evaluation on our stuff, and honestly, we gave them a 1 to 5 scale on color, texture, mouthfeel, and overall like just quality. And we scored pretty consistently in the 5s. I think we ended up being like a 4.3 average.
Did you have
overall? That would be overall.
So you had like a piece of your cake or whatever?
Yeah, we had little plates, and
Yeah.
we would just like cut off little squares
You
of
should
the
have
pound
had
cake.
you should have had a comparison test where you had like a regular cake or like the same recipe except with shortening, and then one with the seed, and then see how they would have liked it compared to the other.
That does sound like a good idea, but guess what? The syllabus did not require that. So
you
we
got to go above and beyond.
We just went
to
with
get the data.
we called it the poof a pound cake. It was a hot commodity. We had several of the teachers come up and say, "Hey, don't tell anybody this, but this one was our favorite."
Oh, of course they did.
They did.
They
dude.
said that to every group.
Dude, it was good. It really was. It was.
I'm
good.
not saying yours is probably really. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but the teachers were being nice.
No, it was an interesting.
You didn't get me a piece. It's fine though. It's cool. I mean,
It's cool, Kyle.
I wanted one, but it's whatever.
No, dude, I'll make you a poof of pound cake sometime. It's really
I love
good.
pound cakes.
It's really good, and like you could definitely tell a difference. It almost it took away because shortening it kind of gives it a smoother texture.
Yeah.
And it takes away a little bit of the moistness of it.
No, so it's dry.
Well, I wouldn't
You gotta
even. I
have a
wouldn't
moist
even
cake,
necessarily.
though.
Yeah, I wouldn't even necessarily say that it was dry. It tasted a little bit different. Like the shortening gives it maybe like a buttery, like almost a buttery smooth texture.
Yeah.
Well, the flaxseed gives it like a nutty. What are you laughing at, dude? It gives it like a nutty flavor, and it does make it a little more fibrous. But I mean, that shows in the nutrition facts. Like we're adding a little bit of fiber. We're taking away some of the saturated fats, adding in some of the healthier fats, and increasing the fiber to a cake, which cakes usually don't have much fiber.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's give and take, and basically we were trying to make it a healthier cake without affecting the quality, and I feel like we accomplished what we did, what we set out to do.
There you go.
So it was a good time. I want to mention some of the other labs that cooked things. There was one lab that made a like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
No, don't like it already.
Dude, you would have liked it. It was so good, dude. It was good.
Wouldn't have liked it.
And they had like you
I
had
don't
to
like mint
market
chocolate chip anyway.
Like part of the project was you had to market your stuff. So I had like a little flyer that explained everything, and I set it up at our table. We had coffee, because it's coffee and bread. Well, they had like a Christmas theme and everything, and like mint and chocolate. Yeah, I don't know. It was like hot.
Dude,
I don't know. It was good.
Might be an unpopular opinion. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, worst on the planet.
Oh my gosh!
Terrible.
You just offended me.
I don't care.
That offends me,
if
bro.
I offend you or anyone, it doesn't matter. Worst ice cream ever. Terrible.
And then the other notable one. So the girl that I said that gave us the criticism, Armani, she's like really good at cooking. Like she's just, I don't know, she got the touch, and
The
she
magic
made
touch.
Yeah, she made these chips, man. Her and this other dude, Jordan. I've mentioned him on the podcast too. He's the guy that rides like 138 miles on a bicycle.
Rides the bike.
They made some ballin' chips, man. They were giving them out
Chips?
with some. Yeah, dude. And they did have a comparison because they just went and bought like some Tostitos.
Did they bake them?
Well, they fried them. Like they had.
They fried them.
Yeah,
What'd they fry them in?
Well, they just had like a pan and just filled it with some type of oil. I don't know what the type of the oil was, but and then they had like
what was their substitute? Didn't you have to substitute for something healthy?
I honestly don't know, man.
It was probably the oil though.
I just went
they
over
probably
there.
Got, I'm trying to think. They probably could have got some like, low fat oil or something.
Yeah. I have no idea, man. I have no idea, but it was really good. I kept going back for some chips and salsa.
I love chips, dude.
But those were the two good ones. One that kind of like I didn't like at all. No offense to the people that made it. I just don't like fruit snacks. Like I never liked fruit snacks growing up.
You like fruit snacks?
Dude, I hate fruit snacks.
Get out of here with that.
Dude, I hate them, man. I hate
Why?
them. I don't know. It's like I said, like a texture thing.
They're just chewy.
They get stuck in my teeth, and like, I just don't like it.
Okay.
Anyways, these people, they made like there was like a beet fruit snack.
Now that sounds pretty bad.
And they were like, yeah, dude, like the texture, like it made me want to vomit when it put it in my mouth. Not because it was bad, but like it was just the texture, man.
It was bad. Just go on and say it.
Dude, it was pretty bad. But hey,
throwing them under the bus.
You win some, you lose some, right?
That's true.
No, since we're on food, I was actually talking. Me and my buddy Marcus, we renewed our membership at the climbing gym this week, And like one of our favorite pastimes is to go climbing, and then like on our way back, or in the gym or whatever, we'll just have some of the wildest conversations, or we'll go on a rant. And so like y'all know that I'm a nutrition major. Like that area of health is kind of my expertise. I like to talk about things with people regarding the nutrition and health and how they relate. Well, Marcus is an exercise science major. And so like he's very interested in the kinesiology of the body and how the body moves, and honestly is into like more corrective fitness. So like, helping people with back pain, things of that nature. And so though that's just two areas of health, and so we kind of get on rants sometimes, and we were talking about like dieting or trying to make lifestyle changes. And I heard somebody say something one time, and I personally, so this is like anecdotal evidence, but I personally have tried this and found it to be very successful. So when we think of dieting or making a change to our diet, we think of just like restructuring everything. Like just tear it down, let's start from scratch. I'm eating terrible, I need to turn it around, make a 180. And that can be easy to do for maybe a week or two, and that's that's pretty conservative. Like most people don't make it past a week of trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if we look at it as, instead of, like I said, restructuring and tearing down, instead maybe implementing things, like implementing small changes. And for example, like I said, a personal experience of mine, one thing that I started doing once I became more aware about my health is in the morning, I started eating a bowl of oatmeal with some type of fruit, whether it's banana, blueberries. Sometimes I'll be feeling froggy and throw in some peaches or something.
Yeah, I don't know about peaches.
Yeah. And then I eat like some almonds and some walnuts, and I'll throw maybe some peanut butter in there. And I eat that just about like that's every morning. That's one of the first things I do when I wake up is eat a bowl of oatmeal. And just doing that, like I'm adding so much variety. I'm adding so many vitamins, minerals, like fiber. Like I'm adding good things and I'm putting them into my body. And that is just one change that I have made that I feel like has impacted my health in such a good way. So, and it's not going to be, I'm not saying don't be like, oh, I gotta eat some oatmeal in the mornings now. No,
That's the key.
Figure out something, just a small implementation that you can make, and just start there. Once you get going and you get comfortable with that implementation, it becomes routine. It becomes part of your habit that you have created for yourself. Then think about maybe throwing in another implementation. And so instead of, like I said, taking a wrecking ball and just restructuring everything that you do, which is not sustainable, it's not going to work, just make these small little changes. And then over time, you'll notice that you're a completely different person than you were a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. So for the most part, if you're looking to change your pattern of behavior, it's better to make small changes. It's more effective. People see better results out of attacking it that way. No, but talking about behavior change, like we can talk about how to do it all you want to, but in regards to health, there is a cultural imbalance of how we look at health. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, when I get this in this position, or I get this amount of money, I can, start to focus on my health more. They see it as more of like the icing on the cake, if you will, when your health is really the batter. It's the ingredients that you have to get started.
Yeah.
So like health is so foundational. You're going to be better at what you do, whether that's your job, whether that's being a husband, whether that's being a father. Like you're going to be better at what you do. You need to look at your health as an investment, as opposed to, when I get here, I can focus on being healthier.
Yeah, because if you're not healthy, you might never make it to your.
I heard somebody say that one time, and I don't remember who. So sorry, I'm not giving credit, but we look at health as the icing on the cake instead of the batter and the ingredients.
The batter, baby. That's a good point. Yeah, because you say people go their whole lives and they're like, okay, well now I got a family and all this and that. I'm finally gonna start eating healthy. Well, you might not have made it. If you're really unhealthy, you might not make it to that point in your life.
Well, yeah, and the thing
Nothing's
is,
guaranteed.
I'm wanting to equip myself to put my children in the best position because, like I said, it's so foundational, and looking at it from like how I grew up, because you said not everybody starts out, in this position. I eat pretty healthy nowadays, but I did not eat healthy growing up. And so it has been such a challenge for me to gain the knowledge necessary to take care of myself and my diet. Whereas it's such a foundational thing, I shouldn't have had to spend all this time in my late teens, early 20s figuring this stuff out. So, like, what I'm saying is, I want to put myself in a position to where I can help develop my future generations. I can help develop that foundation earlier to where they can worry about accomplishing other things, where they can worry about icing their cake however they please. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's true. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's I know I feel like the theme of this podcast so far has been nutrition, but yeah, it's worth it, guys. It's very beneficial to more aspects of your life than just your health. Like, it just carries over in so many areas.
Yeah,
So there's my motivation for you. Get healthy, y'all.
eat more kale.
No, dude. I was talking about that competency exam. I don't know why I just thought of this. I gave a presentation in that class a week earlier, and I took a clip of our podcast and used it in the presentation. And at the end of the podcast, I promoted it. I said, "Hey, go check out Casual Conversation with Will and Gary
You
on
gotta get-
iTunes, Google
you gotta
Play,
get a-
YouTube, and Spotify."
You got to get a plug in there sometime.
Yeah, dude. I've been telling everybody about it.
Dude, yeah. Dude, speaking of that, we're gonna start. We were going to today, but we ran into some unexpected problems. We're really gonna try and start taking videos of our podcast, putting them on YouTube, and also we're gonna try and do like, little filler videos. Like, we won't do them every week, but we'll do like videos of us setting up the podcast room, and if we do something cool during the week, we'll take a video of it and we'll throw it in. Show you guys little clips of what we're
Let you feel as close,
a little behind the scenes action,
as close as we
I mean?
can. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's that time of the year, Gary.
I know. Ho ho ho.
Merry Christmas. I say Merry Christmas. What do you say? Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays?
Bro, I say just whatever. I say have a good day. I don't know.
No, do you say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays?
I guess I say Merry Christmas. Like, I mean, I would say Happy Holidays if somebody.
I mean, I say Happy Holidays
okay,
too.
Okay, I'll say this. If I'm saying it to somebody and initiating the seasonal greeting, I'll say Merry Christmas. But if somebody like talks back to me, or my bad, not talks back to me, if they initiate it and they say Happy Holidays, I usually say Happy Holidays back.
Yeah.
And that's not because I don't know, it's just like that's what they said, so that's what I'm gonna say back.
Yeah. I don't know why it's such a big debate whether people say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. I say both of them.
Yeah. I just feel like the holidays like encompasses this whole time of year. Like, even before
like Thanksgiving too.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like, really, like, it's just like Happy Holidays. Like, I would say that at Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really say Happy Thanksgiving. That sounds weird.
Yeah. I mean, I say Happy Thanksgiving too, but like, I
mean,
don't
you
know.
can say that. It just kind of sounds strange.
I think it is, to go on what you were kind of getting at, I think it is kind of silly that people get so worked up over that.
Yeah. It's not really that big
It's
of a deal.
words. It's
Yeah.
words. No, so like, I have this issue, and this happens every year, and it's like it's totally self-inflicted. So not complaining, not an excuse, but I put off Christmas shopping so bad.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
I do too. I usually order a bunch of presents on Amazon, but I've waited too long now. It's the 6th, so I, even if you have Amazon Prime, some stuff won't come in time. Because think of how swamped like all the delivery drivers are. 'Cause there's so
Oh,
many
yeah.
packages coming in.
My dad's a UPS man. He's, as they would say, swamped.
Yeah. So I guess I still got time to get on there and order some presents, but I'll probably just go to the store and get them this year.
No,
I don't know what I'm gonna get though.
They actually did something pretty cool this year, though. Like my dad, normally he has to drive to Conway throughout the year to go out of his hub, like at the UPS hub. He goes to his truck and everything. Well, during the holidays this year, like they obviously expect to be a lot busier during that time. It's just gonna happen. And he only has to drive to Damascus. They have like a little spot where they have all his packages sent out to Damascus. So he doesn't have to leave the house as early, and he doesn't have to drive as far to get all of his stuff.
Oh, that's solid.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
dig that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, I don't know what UPS is thinking, but I would think that like it would be efficient to have little hubs like that.
Yeah.
To
Like a
where-
little substation.
Yeah, little
You got,
substations.
you got
to
the main
where-
power station, and then you got little substations up to
Yeah.
the side. That's
It
a
would
good
help
idea.
employee satisfaction. I honestly feel like, I mean, once you got the startup cost for the hubs, I feel like it'd be more efficient because you're saving gas on your trucks, like your
Yeah.
delivery truck.
And then like when somebody, well,
I
could
mean,
say-
I don't know. I'm
yeah,
just spitballing. I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm just trying to think like,
I'm just looking out for my dad.
yeah, I'm trying to think like when people would order stuff or like send it to UPS, they don't want it to go to the wrong place, so that would might confuse people. Like distributors sending products to UPS. So if they had 15 different addresses to send to, or packages could get mixed up a lot more.
Yeah.
But since there's only one direct hub, like in Central Arkansas or in Conway, then they know that that's where they send it. So I guess they might do that so packages don't get mixed up as bad.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, growing up and my dad being who he is, my dad, and living with Paxton for a little bit and him being a maverick trucking logistics dude, like I have gained so much respect for the logistics and shipping of products.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it is insane all of the thought and work that goes into it
Yeah, man.
that we just take for granted. Like America is ran by the trucking industry.
The truck drivers, baby. I saw a thing on the news that said trucking companies were looking for employees now more than ever because the demand for, package and freight is so high now because you got so many different websites you can order stuff off of and everything like that. And for some reason, people aren't driving trucks as much anymore. I don't know why. I guess I don't know what the average pay rate of it is. It said that they were, all across the country, trucking companies were increasing their salaries and stuff to try and entice younger people to, start driving trucks.
Yeah.
I think there's a age restriction too that you have. I think you have to be 21 years old to drive a truck.
Really?
To drive an 18-wheeler, yeah. Commercially for like a company like that.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't quote me on that for sure.
No, something
I've heard that though.
Something that I've talked pretty extensively with Paxton. Paxton's was our roommate, by the way, for those of y'all that don't know or haven't heard us talk about him. Paxton said, or we've talked about like the lack of sleep that truck drivers, like that's a stigma with truck drivers, is they go so long, they work these crazy hours at crazy times, and that they go for just like almost days without sleeping. And Paxton said that they've gotten pretty good restrictions, and like they've gotten technology now in certain companies where like trucks will shut off if you go over the time.
Well, they should.
Yeah,
dude.
I think they should too. No, that Matthew Walker guy.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm not gonna do his research justice, but there's this dude named Dr. Matthew Walker. He is a sleep specialist. He's like one of the leading sleep specialists, and he's basically shown with rigorous trials and studies that driving sleep deprived is more dangerous than driving at the legal level for being intoxicated with alcohol.
Yeah, I heard that. And that's not to say, I also saw a thing that said there's more crashes due to alcohol, but more fatal crashes due to sleep deprivation.
Yes. And
So, yeah, we're obviously not condoning drinking and driving, but that's a wild stat that, it's actually more fatal. I heard, it might have been on a podcast, I heard that it's more fatal when you're sleep deprived because when your eyes are closed and you're drifting off the road, when you wake up, you literally have no sense of where you are at all. Like, and I guess when you're intoxicated, you're at least like, I would assume most, DUIs and stuff isn't where the person actually passes out at the wheel. It's where they're just not paying attention, right?
yeah.
But when you're asleep, you're not paying attention to anything because your eyes are closed. Like, you're not even aware of any surroundings. So they say it's more fatal because you don't hit the brakes when you're fixing to hit something because you don't see it or you don't see the other cars or anything like that. So
Yeah. Well, what I was kind of getting at with bringing all of this up is that with truck drivers and the lack of sleep. So I'm gonna throw out some statistics here. I've been reading some books. So 60%. This is a crazy stat. Listen to this.
Let me hear it.
60% of truck drivers are overweight. Okay. 30% of truck drivers are obese, are clinically obese.
Okay.
So when you are overweight, obviously you have a risk for cardiovascular disease of many types, but you also are at a higher risk to suffer from a condition known as sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea is like when your air passageway gets blocked during sleep due to, I mean, I honestly don't know what it's due to, but I know that it messes with your sleep, and you are very, very prone to be sleep deprived, and it can honestly cause and goes hand in hand with insomnia. So with that being said, our truck drivers are at one of the greatest risks for having sleep apnea, on top of having the incentive to stay up, drive longer to make more money and to neglect their sleep. So on top of that, they are also at risk for having being insomniacs due to sleep apnea. Now, when a big truck crashes, on average, it takes 4 to 6 lives.
That's crazy.
So
That's a wild stat.
in saying all that, we have some of the most fatal machines out there on the road with people behind the wheel that are very statistically, like I said, this is general and very playing them off statistics, but we have the most dangerous people behind those wheels or behind those wheels.
Yeah. Add on to that, not even big trucks, that sleep deprivation crashes are more fatal than any other kind of vehicle crash.
Yeah.
And add it to the big truck and add it to the driver.
So
it just keeps adding on top of each other.
it is. It's an issue. It's an issue that, like, I'm glad that people have taken more note of. Like I said, me and Paxton, we've talked about it. And Maverick, which is the trucking company that he works for, is very, very strict on when you hit your hours, you shut her down, you find somewhere to go and stay for the night.
Yeah.
Which I
Those
think
trucks
is good.
Yeah. And the trucks nowadays have some sweet sleeping cabins on them.
Yeah.
My uncle actually has drove trucks for a long time. And dude, he has the coolest truck you'll ever see. It's like I think it's an old one. It's like a 1960 or 70s model, Peterbilt. But it's like the roof is real low. I'd have to show you a picture of it. It just looks like the vintage mean looking semi truck. It's like the coolest truck. It's yellow. It's got a big hood ornament on it. It's like a big angel. The smokestacks are huge, chrome. Dude, it's the coolest truck I've ever seen.
Will's a
Dude.
big into the auto mechanics.
No, not really, but
He likes them though.
Yeah, I
Don't
like 'em.
lie, you're a hobbyist.
yeah. But dude, that truck is awesome, and he's got like a super comfy bed in it and like a TV. Dude, it's awesome.
That's wow. That's next level.
Dude, it was next level. Go on YouTube and just look up some like 2018 model semi trucks with a sleeper
No,
on it.
dude,
It's like a 1-bedroom apartment in the truck.
You remember Pimp My Ride with Ice Cube? Was it Ice Cube?
No, it was not Ice Cube.
What's his name?
Oh.
I know.
Exhibit.
Exhibit. Yes. Okay. Okay, so I used to watch that. I'm not really into
Oh yeah,
cars.
I used to watch it all the
Bro,
time.
I'm not really into cars, but I genuinely enjoyed watching Exhibit Pimp My Ride. And so I tell you that because like they had versions of that that were like specifically for big trucks. I can't remember like what the name of the show was, but it was like a Pimp My Ride for big trucks.
It was like on a CMT because it was like, no offense, it was just a bunch of rednecks with their trucks, and they would. I remember that. And they would fix
Dude,
up
it
the
was
truck.
entertaining. It was entertaining to say
Yeah.
the least.
Dude, Pimp My Ride. That was the worst. Dude, they made those cars so dumb.
Dude.
They were like, we heard this guy really likes chicken nuggets, so we put a chicken nugget dispenser in his trunk, 3 different kinds of sauces. They would do, dude. They would like find stuff that they liked, and they would like put it in the car. So like, this guy really loves video games, so we put 3 PlayStation 2s in his backseat. You know?
PlayStation 2s. Got those PS2s running and bumping in the back.
That was a great show.
No, dude. Those were the days watching MTV.
Yeah, those were the days. Speaking of watching stuff, dude, I watched my all-time 100% non-negotiable, undisputed favorite Christmas movie.
I already know what it is. It's mine too.
Dude, that's my favorite movie ever. Go ahead and tell me.
It's The Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
It's the best.
It has the old cartoon one is fine. I haven't seen the new one. They actually have a new one.
Yeah,
with-
and
with
honestly,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
if it was anybody else besides Benedict Cumberbatch, like I really do like him, but they can't make like a real life, like real person, non-animated Grinch movie for hundreds of years.
no, they could never make another one.
Dude, I'm telling
Because
you,
that's the greatest. That's such a good acting performance, dude. It's
he
so good.
kills it. Oh my gosh, he kills it.
That's for sure my favorite movie. Second, number 2, I'd say
Solve world hunger, tell no one.
so many good things with that, dude.
Jazzercise. A jury duty, blackmail, objection notice.
I really don't like them. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Number
man.
2, I don't know. Might be Christmas Vacation.
Y'all, dude,
Probably.
yeah, the Lampoon's Christmas Vacation
Yeah.
is a good one.
Other than that,
Me and my mom and Russell and Reed, we watch that just about every year. That's their big one. Mom says the Jim Carrey Grinch creeps her out. I'm like, Mom,
he's funny though.
he is. He's so hilarious.
He doesn't look that creepy. He creeped me out when I was a little kid, but I don't even know when that movie came out. I think it was like 2000.
I don't know.
Might
I
be older
remember
than that.
I just remember it being an insta classic.
Dude, I love it. I watch it every year, multiple times. I could watch it any time of the year, but on Christmas for sure, I always watch it a couple times.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
No, dude, I am gonna like totally change the subject real quick. You remember how we were talking about different protein sources a few podcasts ago, like people eating horses and other
Oh yeah,
in other countries and things of that nature?
yeah.
Dude, I heard something very interesting about America's history with protein. And the animal that I'm fixing to tell you that we ate, we also used them for furs. It was a big fur trade animal
Yeah.
as well. But the meat apparently is balling. Like, it's good.
What is it?
Beaver. I swear, dude.
Leave it to beaver,
no,
dude.
Listen to this. This is going to blow your freaking mind. Okay, so before 1840 was the mark of the collapse of the beaver trade. And so, dude, before that, though, the beaver trade made America's first millionaires.
The beaver pelt trade.
Yes.
Meat and pelt.
Yes. I swear, it made America's first millionaires. And apparently,
I don't believe that.
dude, look it up. I didn't
What
believe it
website
either.
did you get that off of?
I honestly don't know.
Was it a
the
.org?
I don't know the website, but you just look it up. If you don't believe me, which the majority of people that I have told this hasn't believed me, look it up.
Just because it's
The beaver trade made America's first millionaires. You heard it here first from Gary.
Okay. What website did you see that on?
I don't
Just
know.
because
I
it's
genuinely
on
don't
some
know. I'm not going to
random
sit here.
Joe Blow website on the internet doesn't mean it's true.
Well, okay, I know from what source, like the person that said it, but I don't know like what website he got it from.
Well, who was it?
Steve Ranella.
Who's that?
Steve Ranella he has his own TV show. It's called The Meat Eater. He's a big game hunter and conservationist from Michigan, I do believe. Anyways, he's very, very knowledgeable in history, and I just heard him talking on a podcast this week, and they were talking about eating beaver, and it just reminded me of us talking about like eating different proteins and things of that nature. And he went on to talk about like how the beaver trade was like absolutely huge. Like he even talks about how like when we were talking about buying the Louisiana Purchase, like we were justifying buying that and then paying it off through the beaver trade. I swear, dude, look into it. If you're interested enough to look into it, look into it.
Leave it to beaver.
It just blew my mind.
That is pretty wild, though.
We need to eat some beaver.
Definitely not.
You wouldn't eat beaver with me?
I mean, I'd give it a try.
Hey, somebody hit me up. If you got my number, if you follow me on Instagram, hit me up, and we will get down and eat some beaver sometime. I'm all about
fresh beaver, dude.
it.
I wonder if it's tender.
Apparently there's good fat in their tail, too. Beaver fat in the tail.
Do they take the beaver teeth and like use it as a prize, like a shark tooth? The big front beaver teeth.
I don't know about all that. I know it's like a super lean meat, and that's why they use the fat in the beaver tail just to add a little bit of fat to the meat.
I don't know anything about beavers other than they can chop a mean log.
Yeah, dude, there were some beaver. We used to have this pond by my house that I would go fishing down in, and we had some beavers down there. Some mean son of guns right there.
Some beaver? You didn't mess with the beavers, dude.
No, dude, they like ate all the fish, and so
they gotta eat.
We had to go in. I know, but so do. Well, I guess we can eat other ways.
That's the only food we had was the fish in that pond.
But like it was
they
like
ate them all.
Dude, it was killing all the life, and like the plants like took over and everything because there were no fish to like munch, and then like it was bad. So we had to go and do a little population control.
No,
I should have got some beaver meat.
I can't believe you killed all the beavers.
I didn't kill the beavers. My stepdad killed the beavers, and the dude that lives next to us.
You didn't even leave two beavers
because it actually wasn't. The pond was not on our land. It was on this dude that lives next to us land, his land, and Russell just helped him take care of the situation.
Couldn't even left two beavers. Just let them replenish.
Bro, they were okay. Think about this. You
just exterminated them. That's called a genocide.
No,
the beaver genocide.
They were literally knocking out the fish population. They were throwing everything off balance.
So you threw it off balance. What was going to happen? Killing every beaver.
What was going to happen is they were going to
take over the world.
Eat all our fish, and then leave, and then we just be left with a bunch of algae and water, no fish. So
Yeah, that's true. They probably were gonna leave once they ate all the fish.
yep.
What a sad time.
I'd
hate to be a
I
beaver.
think back to that time now, and I'm just like, man, I wish I would have got some beaver meat.
You never thought about eating one then.
Well, I know, but now knowing what I know now, I wish I would have gotten some beaver meat.
Beaver
Get a slab of that fat from that tail.
All we eat is mutton. We want some beaver meat.
Oh man.
Some beaver meat.
No, I've got one more little topic to talk about. I haven't personally done this, but I've heard some of my coworkers and some of my classmates talk about this. And I was wondering if you have participated in this service. Have you ever looked into DNA testing?
DNA testing.
Like the
no.
23andMe thing?
No. I can't take it seriously.
You what? Wait. That's not the
Bro.
answer I expected. You can't take it seriously. What?
Dude, have you ever Please tell me you've seen that South Park episode making fun of it.
I probably have. I've
Dude.
watched a lot of South Park.
I'm not even going to talk about the episode. But
Yeah, don't spoil it.
No, I'm not. No, but I can't take it seriously after watching that just because they made fun of it so much. I mean, it's a cool idea. It really is. But I've also heard other people talk about it on different shows and podcasts, and I've read some articles and stuff on it, and it's fairly accurate. Like it'll tell you a good amount of information that you want to hear, like where your ancestors are from and stuff.
Yeah, dude, they'll send
But-
back like food preferences and like all kinds of
Yeah,
things
but-
that your ancestors had.
But like there's really no way that they get all of that 100% correct. You know what I mean? Like they say what's the percentage on it? Like 99% of it is accurate. Dude, there's no way.
But I mean, that's your genetic makeup.
Yeah, I know, but there's no way that they can trace back all of your ancestors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be some from other places that they can't get. So like I know, and also I'll say this about it. I agree it's not fairly accurate. It's very accurate in, saying where you came from and all this. But all these people that are like that start walking around because they're 0.075% some ethnicity or from somewhere, they start walking around acting like that's where they came from, which is annoying to me.
Yeah. Well, that's just people being tools.
Yeah.
But
So it's like it's a tool for people to be tools.
yeah.
So it gets on my nerves.
I mean, it's one thing if you're like part like of a Native American tribe that you're proud of.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
like if you're like 0.2 Nigerian and like you're as pale as toothpaste, like don't be walking around like, yeah, dude, I'm African. I'm African.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not, discriminating against anybody. If you're proud, I mean, you should be proud.
Be proud.
You should be proud of your ancestors and stuff.
Haters are gonna hate, and we're hating on whatever you're doing.
I'm a hater right now. But I'm just saying, if you're less, I would say if you're less than, I don't know what's a good percentage, 10% of somewhere that it tells you, then, okay, that's cool, but that's not where you're from.
No, man, I'm not gonna throw a number out on it. If you're acting like a tool, I'll just be like, quit being a tool.
Yeah. we know, we get it. You're 0.071% Italian. So quit making pizzas all the time.
So like you were talking about how it does tell you like what percentage, and it leaves stuff out because with the way genetics work, you can kind of think of it like it trickling down and some of them getting lost through time. So like there are it's a pie chart that it gives you of the percentage of what you are, but there's an empty slot of however many percentile points from what I've heard anyways.
Yeah.
And it's just because they, like you said, it's very accurate, but with genetics, like we can't tell everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's just more of the intrigue behind knowing a little bit more about your ancestry.
Yeah. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not saying don't do it, but if you asked me, I wouldn't buy it and do it. Just because I'm honestly, I mean, not sound bad, but I'm really not that interested in
Yeah, I
my
see. I'm pretty
ancestry, to be
interested,
honest.
and I would do it, but I don't know, man. Like, okay, this is gonna sound. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, he's like thinks that the government's gonna collapse and everything after I say this, but no, I like your genetics are like the most detailed barcode ever, and like it's like your unique signature. And with the way technology is, I don't want to give people my barcode if I don't
Yeah,
have
dude.
to. Like that, I know that they can get hair samples and whatever. I'm probably got some saliva or whatever out there
Yeah.
that they could use or what. But the thing is, I'm not going to willingly give them my barcode.
Yeah.
I am interested. I would do it, but I don't like. It's my genetic information. Like I don't want them to have it.
Yeah.
It's just my own personal choice.
And you know, back in the very back of my brain, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do it for sure. But I know as soon as it came back, it would be, I don't even know what it says. It just it'd be like European, and then because that's where it came from.
But how do you
We
know?
sailed over here because I just know that's what it'd
How
be.
do you know?
Just
I
because
think you should
dude.
get it done.
Definitely not.
You should. I want to see. I want to see what you are.
I don't want.
I'm interested.
You're interested, huh?
Give them your barcode so I don't have to give them mine.
If you're if you're so interested, you want to pay for it? How much does it cost?
Negatory. I'm not paying for it.
Okay, well
I'm
we're not doing it then. Cancel it. We're not doing it.
No. So
I'm not paying.
the
I might do, if it was free. Still probably wouldn't, but I'd think about it. But if you got to pay, no, I'm not doing it.
No, dude. Like, you know what I'm talking about, though. Like, with the way technology's moving. You were texting in the group message this week about how you think AI is going to take over the world.
It is, dude. Dude. Okay, all the listeners, go listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. If you've never heard of him, he's a stand-up comedian. Has a really popular podcast.
Also commentates for the UFC.
Yeah, go listen to his podcast with. Let me look it up real fast. Find the guy's name. Dr. Ben Goertzel, Goertzel, and it will blow your mind what they're doing with artificial intelligence and how all the artificial intelligence scientists don't look at it in the same way as a average Joe does. Like Joe Rogan was asking him, he's like, so what about if the robots, have a change of mind and they have different values than we do and they don't, accept us? And he's like, well, you just have to teach the robots when they're learning the values of the human society. And they're like, but he just kept like redirecting the question. It was kind of freaking me out, just the way he was thinking. Like the robots are gonna, once they realize, bro.
Yeah, so if you want to jump on Will's paranoia wagon, go listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
E.T. was texting us this week. He's like, bro, y'all got to listen to this podcast. They're going to take over the world, man.
It's fine. Everybody thinks we're crazy, but
he's got a hole that he started out in his backyard. He's building a shelter for when it finally happens.
bro, the shelter's not gonna matter. They're gonna have like heat-seeking, vision and radars where they can find you anywhere through any surface.
Like I said, jump on the wagon, everybody. Paranoia Central.
Okay, last thing I'll say about it is he was talking about this one thing. It's called singularity, and it is where technology and artificial intelligence is so advanced that he used this example. He was like, singularity is described as when technology and advancements and discoveries are moving so fast. It would be like getting 10 Nobel Prize winning discoveries in like 1 hour.
Wow.
So it would be, once because artificial intelligence just keeps growing and growing and growing and learning from each other and everything that it interacts with. So if you think about it, once it reaches a certain level and it just keeps going and going and going, it's like an endless possibility of what it can do.
Yep. I don't know, man. That's just
Anyway,
way over my head.
it's way over my head too. It's way over everybody's head. That's why it's so weird.
There we go, talking about robots taking over the world again.
Oh well. Oh, okay, I'm done talking about robots. Anyway,
that's all I've got, man. We've been rolling for quite a while now.
yeah, that's all we got, baby. Anyway,
the main point that I kind of want to bring back up that I just want to ring home with everybody is that your health is not the icing on the cake. It's the batter. Pay attention to the foundation. Give it what it needs. Nourish your foundation, and you will be better at doing other things. You'll be better and more appreciative of the nuances in your life.
I agree with that. And my last word would be, don't jump into things knowing that it's going to be hard for you to succeed. So if you're starting a diet, you don't have to go all out first day. Just slowly but surely keep implementing things, and eventually you will reach your goal. You can jump in. Some people can. Some people jump in, cold turkey head first right out of the gate, and it works for them. Most of us can't. So be consistent and just keep doing it. And eventually you'll reach the goal. That's basically the same thing. But
be consistent and keep doing it.
I can't think.
That's the quote of the day.
Be
Will
consistent
Pennington.
and keep Anyways,
you can find me on Instagram at Gary the Great 96, GaryThegreat 96, and you can find me on Snapchat at Gary Gairy.
You see what Gary did there? Before I could even say anything, he jumped in because he wanted to go first.
Stole it last time.
Yeah. Anyway, you can find me at Will_Pennington00 on Instagram, and on Twitter as the Scavenger23. Also, before we go, we did create a podcast Instagram. So if you guys want to follow us on that, that's where I'm going to be posting the majority of our updates and stuff. So whenever a new episode comes out, we'll post it on there. Whenever we, have a YouTube video going up or anything like that, I'll put it on there. So let me find it real fast.
And of course, I don't know about Will. I'm still going to be posting all of the updates that I have to share with y'all on my Instagram. Because I'm active, bro.
Yeah, and I'm active as well. I just didn't want your Instagram to get too oversaturated with only podcast stuff.
Yeah, I feel that.
I wanted it to be I wanted us to have our own account so that we could oversaturate it with podcast stuff, because that's what it is. It's all for podcasts.
Yeah, definitely.
So it is at Casual Conversation Podcast. That's all lowercase, baby. And the name of the account is just Casual Conversation Podcast as well. We got the same logo as the iTunes picture and the Google Play picture and everything like that.
Same cover art.
Same cover art.
Which I want to talk a little bit about the cover art. We have got somebody that is working very diligently on producing a new cover art for us. She sent us a beta version of it,
and it's awesome.
And it looks tight.
It's cool, dude.
Once we get all the kinks worked out and get it exactly how we want it, we're gonna get everything switched over, like our iTunes, Google Play cover arts, and it'll have our graphic design.
Yeah, dude, and it's going to be sick. It looks really awesome. I think you guys are going to really dig it.
Super excited about it.
It's definitely going to take us to the next level.
To the upper epsilon.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, that's really all we got. Once again, thanks for stopping by, tuning in. Go check us out on YouTube. We'll be posting YouTube videos on there once we get that going. And also follow us on our new Instagram. That's at Casual Conversation Podcast. Follow us for all updates related to podcast material. So with that,
Gary out.
Later.